Stop! Don't touch that screen. Before you answer that call that makes your heart jump into your throat, you need to see this. We've all been there. Your phone buzzes, and the screen glows with an unfamiliar number, or worse, a name that screams urgent. Bank security, IRS final notice, hospital emergency. Your mind races. Is it real? Is my money safe? Is a loved one in trouble? This split second of uncertainty is the doorway, and on the other side there isn't a friendly agent. There's a predator, and they are ruthlessly effective. In 2024 alone, these predators stole over $12.5 billion worldwide. Let that number sink in. That's more than the entire GDP of dozens of countries. It's enough to build a modern city from the ground up, and it was all stolen without a single line of malicious code, without a single firewall being breached. It was stolen using the oldest, most powerful, and most overlooked weapon in the world. Just words. Forget the stereotype of a hacker in a dark room, furiously typing to break through digital walls. The modern thief doesn't hack computers, they hack people. They use a sophisticated form of psychological warfare called social engineering. They don't need your password because they can convince you to give it to them. They exploit the very things that make us human. Our trust, our desire to help, our fear of authority, and our panic in a crisis. Your mind is the operating system, and their voice is the virus. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to arm you against them. We're not just going to talk about scams, we're going to dissect them. I will expose the exact psychological weapons they deploy, scripts and tactics so powerful they feel like mind control. You'll learn to identify the urgency trap that short-circuits your rational brain, the authority cloak they wear to command your obedience, and the empathy ploy used to turn your kindness against you. This isn't just a warning, it's a masterclass in psychological self-defense. These aren't just clever tricks, they are potent manipulation techniques. So potent, in fact, that their use in interrogations and intelligence operations has been banned in over a dozen developed countries, including Australia, Germany, and the UK. They were deemed too coercive, too manipulative for trained agents to use on hardened criminals. Yet these exact same methods are being used against you, your parents, and your friends every single day, with nothing but a phone line and a carefully crafted script. Welcome back to Balance Unleashed. Here we reveal the dark psychology controlling your daily life. This is episode 5 of our 12-part series exposing hidden manipulation tactics. If you missed episodes 1 to 4, check the playlist below. Today, social engineering, how hackers hack humans, not computers. After this, you'll never answer an unknown call the same way. Listen to this technique. The caller creates urgency in 30 seconds, claims authority in 60, and uses your psychology against you by minute 2. They're not just asking for info, they're performing surgery on your brain. Here's the 7-step formula they use and why it works on 73% of people. To bypass our defenses, social engineers wield 7 psychological weapons. These aren't just tricks. They are principles of influence designed to short-circuit your rational mind and trigger automatic emotional responses. By understanding this arsenal, you can see the matrix of their manipulation. Let's dissect the 7 core weapons. First, authority hijacking. We're conditioned to obey authority, a shortcut scammers exploit. They cloak themselves in the symbols of power, a formal title or official-sounding jargon, to project legitimacy and demand compliance.
I'm calling from your bank's fraud department.
The defense is to always verify independently. Hang up and call the organization back using an official number from their website, not one the caller provides. Next, urgency. When rushed, our rational brain gets sidelined, creating cognitive tunneling. Scammers manufacture a crisis that demands immediate action, preventing you from having a moment to think or question their story.
Your account closes in 10 minutes.
Urgency is a massive red flag. Legitimate organizations rarely demand instant action. The simple act of pausing can be enough to re-engage your rational mind. Urgency is often paired with fear. Fear is our most primal motivator, triggering a fight-or-flight response that bypasses logic. A social engineer will paint a terrifying picture of financial ruin or legal trouble to make you panic.
Someone is using your identity right now.
When you feel that jolt of fear, question its source. Is the person telling you about the threat also the only one who can solve it? That's the classic scam structure. Humans are social creatures. When uncertain, we look to others for cues. This is social proof. Scammers exploit this by faking consensus, claiming thousands of others have used their service or that everyone has already complied.
We've helped 50,000 customers today.
Be wary of vague claims. Manufactured social proof is designed to make you feel like the odd one out if you don't comply. Real proof is specific and can be checked. The reciprocity trap leverages our desire to repay favors. A scammer offers a small, unsolicited gift, a special discount, or a favor, to make you feel indebted and more likely to comply with their real, much larger request.
I'm saving you $500 in charges.
You owe nothing for an unsolicited favor. The gift is merely bait for a hook. Recognize it as a manipulation tactic and feel free to politely decline. We feel pressured to be consistent with past decisions. Scammers use the foot-in-the-door technique, starting with a small request you'll agree to. Each yes makes it psychologically harder to say no to the larger, dangerous request later.
You do want to protect your money, right?
It's okay to interrupt the process and change your mind. Your initial agreement doesn't obligate you to follow a dangerous procedure. Finally, scarcity. Opportunities seem more valuable when their availability is limited, tapping into our fear of missing out. Scammers will claim there are only a few slots left or a one-time offer to rush your decision.
This is your last chance.
Ask yourself, why would a legitimate security offer be scarce? Real help isn't a limited edition product. This is a sales tactic, not a support call. These 7 weapons are rarely used in isolation. A social engineer skillfully weaves them together, creating an overwhelming assault. They use authority to engage, fear and urgency to create panic, and commitment to lead you toward their goal. Each weapon dismantles your rational thinking until only an emotional reaction remains. But by knowing the playbook, you've taken the most critical step toward defense: awareness. Here's your defense protocol, the 3-question rule. Who are you? How did you get my number? Can I call you back at the official number? The verification pause. Never give info on incoming calls, always verify. The emotional circuit breaker. If you feel pressure, it's manipulation. Hang up immediately, your attention is valuable, protect it. So there you have it. The curtain has been pulled back on the subtle and sometimes not so subtle art of social engineering. We've journeyed through the psychological tactics, from creating false urgency to exploiting our innate desire to be helpful, that manipulators use to bypass our critical thinking. This isn't just about avoiding a few scam calls or phishing emails, this is about reclaiming your mental sovereignty. The game, as we've called it, is being played all around us, every single day. It's in the advertisements that manufacture desire, the political rhetoric that stokes our fears, and even in our personal relationships where dynamics of influence are constantly at play. Now that you can see the moves and recognize the strategies, the fundamental question becomes, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you build your defenses, sharpen your awareness, and not only protect yourself, but also help guide others out of the fog? The first step is recognizing you're on the board. The next is choosing how you play. And a crucial part of this collective defense is sharing our experiences. We want to build a community of vigilant, empowered individuals right here. So, we want to hear from you. Go down to the comments and share a story. What's the most sophisticated or suspicious attempt at social engineering you've ever encountered? It doesn't have to be a phone call. Maybe it was a cleverly worded text message that almost got you, a convincing email from a colleague, or even an in-person interaction that just felt off. For instance, someone might share, I received a text about a package delivery with a link. I was expecting something, so I almost clicked, but I noticed the URL was slightly misspelled. That small detail could be the one thing that saves someone else from a major security breach. By sharing your story, you're not just commenting on a video, you're contributing to a shared library of tactics and red flags. You're helping to inoculate the entire community against these psychological viruses. So please take a moment, share your wisdom, and read through the experiences of others. We can all learn from each other. If you found this breakdown valuable, there are 3 simple yet powerful ways you can help us fight back against this tide of manipulation. First, hitting the like button does more than just show your appreciation. It signals to the YouTube algorithm that this is important, necessary information, pushing it out to more people who might be unknowingly vulnerable. Second, by subscribing to Balance Unleashed, you're making a commitment to your own ongoing education. The tactics of manipulators are constantly evolving, and we are dedicated to staying on the cutting edge, bringing you the latest strategies for defense and empowerment. And finally, the most direct impact you can have is to share this video. Think of one person in your life right now. Maybe it's a parent who isn't as tech-savvy, a friend who is a little too trusting, or a younger family member just starting to navigate the online world. Sending them this video is more than just sharing a link. It's an act of digital guardianship. It's equipping someone you care about with the armor they need before they ever step onto the battlefield. And speaking of battlefields, If today's episode was about defending against unwanted influence from the outside, our next episode will turn the lens inward. We're going to explore the very architecture of influence itself. Get ready for episode 6, the influence hierarchy. Have you ever been in a meeting where one person who isn't even the boss seems to command the room? Or wondered why in your group of friends certain people's suggestions are always adopted while others are ignored? What are the invisible currents of power that determine whose voice is heard and whose ideas gain traction? We'll deconstruct the hidden social dynamics that govern every group, from the office to the family dinner table. We'll explore the sources of informal power. Is it charisma, expertise, social connections, or something else entirely? You'll learn not only how to identify the true influencers in any situation, but also how to navigate these complex hierarchies ethically and effectively, ensuring your own voice can be heard. It's a masterclass in social intelligence that will fundamentally change how you perceive every single group interaction. You won't want to miss it, so make sure you are subscribed and have clicked that notification bell. Our mission here at Balance Unleashed is to provide you with the tools for a clearer, more autonomous life. It all starts with awareness, the ability to see the systems and tactics at play. From that awareness comes empowerment, the knowledge and confidence to act in your own best interest, and the result of that is true balance. Not a life of paranoia and suspicion, but one of conscious engagement where you can navigate the world with confidence, connect with others genuinely, and make decisions that are truly your own. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay aware, stay empowered, and as always, keep unleashing your balance.